is good, guys, and welcome to another Walkthrough Wednesday. So last week I did a talk about mood and different things about how you can stylize your video to create different feelings. And I did that mainly all through editing. And I threw it out there to you guys that if you wanted to know how I did these edits, to leave me a comment below. I got a comment from one of my followers. I greatly appreciate it, William. Thank you very much. So here is your video, and here is how I stylize each one of these videos. So we're gonna take this clip and turn it into this. And then turn it into this. It's very basic, it's very easy, it's very simple. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is open up Premiere Pro, and let's go there now. So like I said, the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is open up Premiere Pro. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you this quick little hack right here. I think that might come in handy. If you go ahead and hit the X, it's gonna highlight this clip. And this is gonna be the clip that we're basically specifically working on exclusively. Let me turn down this audio so you guys don't have to deal with that. Now, I'm doing this because I want to play this clip a lot, and I'm going to want to review it a lot, and I don't want it to just keep trailing on and on and on and on. So right over here, there's a little tool that says loop playback. And if it's not there, just hit this little plus button, and all these other buttons are going to pop up, and you'll find it in here, and you can just click it and drag it down to your toolbar. So that can be really helpful. So we're going to hit loop playback. So that way, as this is going, it'll just go back to the beginning and keep cycling through. So this is our unedited straight out of clip camera, and now we are going to color correct it, guys, which is going to be, like I said, very basic, very simple. So we're going to open up the Lumetri color right over here. Go head over to your window, Lumetri color. There's a few different ways you can do it. You can head over here to color, however you want to do it. There's multiple different ways. If you already know, then you know, so we don't need to go over that. Now I have LUTs, and I could easily just say, oh, I'm going to throw on a LUT and call it a day, but I'm going to assume that none of you guys have LUTs, and we're just going to do this straight with the basic color correction right here, because I mean, that's all you really need. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to minimize these just a touch more so that you guys have an idea of what's going on here. So I like to try to find like a good spot in the clip, typically, you know, that's going to show just about everything, so I know what a generalized color correction is going to look like. So we're going to start off with the very moody feel, guys, right here. So we're going to start with the temperature. We're going to bring it down, like I said in the last video, cooler temperatures, and you can see how much more cooler this is getting. Like I said in the last video, cooler temperatures are going to give you this a little bit more depressed and kind of, you know, cold and wary feeling. Now I tried when I was acting to go through a few different ranges of emotion here. You know, I was looking sketchy off here, you know, like I was trying to look a little suspicious and worried and concerned and stuff. And you'll see how that doesn't carry very well over to the happy version. But I mean, I couldn't act in the, you know, if I did both emotions in the same, it wouldn't be right. So anyway, that's a little bunny trail right there, so let's keep moving on. Like I said, we're going to move down temperature, probably just about right about there. I don't want to, you know, there's day for night filters, and they a lot of times look like this, and I don't want that look at all. I just want a cooler tone, nothing insane. Now, my car is black, and it's getting some of this bluing from the blue in it because it's also reflecting off the blue sky, and I don't want that, so I'm going to bring up the contrast a bit more. That's going to help bring up, you know, pop a few more blacks. I'm even also going to go ahead and come down to the blacks. I'm going to play with these just a touch. As you can see, this is helping with our shadows. Now, one thing about playing with your contrast, shadows, and blacks is contrast and blacks are pretty similar, like in how they're used. It's just kind of focusing on a few different of the blacks. I've noticed with shadows, you get strong vignetting. So if that's a look you're going for, great. That's not really something I want, but I do want this to be just a little bit more dark. I want it to be just a little bit more moody. So we're going to do that. And then we're also going to mute our highlights because it's very bright outside. And I want this very much muted. Like, we're gonna take this all the way down almost. And we're gonna go ahead and keep playing like that. And as you can see, guys, it's really starting to come together, but it's still pretty saturated. So right down here, there is the saturation bar, actually. Now, I don't want to take it down like this because I don't want to go full Book of Eli here, but I'm going to go to like 90. Actually, tell you what, let's go 80. I'm feeling ambitious here. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's a little bit more of a depressed looking look that you've got. You can even play with your greens a little bit right over here, and you can bring those down. I don't really want to do that as of right now just because it's bringing in more color, and I didn't want to play with the magentas because that brings in the house. So I wasn't really going to touch those. Depending on your scene and how many colors are in it, you can do that as well. So that is our very moody scene right there, guys. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to our happy scene, our happy-go-lucky fun scene. So right over here, I'm going to go ahead and just hit X again. We're going to loop this, boom, so I don't have to deal with it. Now I'm going to start here at the same clip again because it shows pretty much my entire framing of what my main scene is and just gives me a generalized look of what I want it to look like. Now for this one, I'm going to start bumping up my temperature just a bit, making it a little more hot. Now you can see it also helps boost up your saturation, but it gives this tint over it. So obviously I would never set it to 100, but I'm just showing you guys. So it gives this tint as opposed to where saturation will just bring out every single color. Now I'm gonna play with both here because I want that tint of orange because it's a little bit more happy, but I want my skin colors to pop just a bit more here as well. Now I'm not gonna do much. I'm just gonna bring it up to like 107. And why 107? Because it's not 105 and it's not 110, so 107. That's my reason. Now, I'm a big, and this is a personal preference, I'm big in having my blacks look black. That's a big thing for me. If they don't look black, I hate that. It's one of the first things I notice when I look at a picture. I don't like it at all. I like my blacks to pop. I would much rather have muted whites and dark blacks than the opposite. It's just, it really annoys me. Now, again, I want this kind of more sunny day vibe. So we're going to boost up our highlights just a bit. Play with the contrast just a bit, you know, like obviously you can peel it back just a little bit to kind of, because we're still getting a little bit of vignetting because I boosted up those blacks just a touch. I wouldn't change exposure. I exposed it pretty properly, so I wouldn't really need to worry about that too much. So that's just about it, guys. One last thing that I would really like to do is, if you notice, we have a lot of green right here. Now, I could take you into the HSL secondary, but that's a whole nother wormhole that I don't want to get into right now. So just briefly, I'm going to kind of boost my greens by just bringing this down just a touch because I don't want this reflection to turn green as well. And I still feel like that's getting just a little hot, so I'm going to bring that back just a touch. And I boosted up my saturation to 107, brought my blacks down, and there you have it, guys. You have a nice happy-go-lucky feeling vibe. And why did that not loop? Sorry about that, guys. And that should be looping. So we have happy-go-lucky, and then over here, sad and dreary.
So as you guys can see, it's very simple, it's very easy, it's something that you can do within minutes, and with just a little bit of tweaking of the colors, it's really not that difficult to give your entire video just a completely different vibe and completely different mood and feel. So that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming through Thank you very much for following. I appreciate all your likes and comments and everything that you guys do to keep this channel going. Please subscribe, please like, comment below if you've got any other ideas that you'd like me to talk about. Otherwise, I will just be going on my own routine and my own ideas. So I will see you guys next week on Walkthrough Wednesday.